Hey everyone, welcome to the Sports Breakdown once again. So today we are going to discuss about the WTC Finals 2023 India's Test Squad analysis right now. So we discussed the Australia Test Squad analysis earlier, and I hope you guys will watch that right now. So later on, so we'll discuss about the India Test Squad analysis. So first of all, we've got Ankit Sharma from the Sports with Bros YouTube channel coming in. They have, I think, about 50K subscribers, more than that as well. So great to have you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. I think you guys work as a team. I think I spoke on your Instagram account as well. But great to have you guys joining us.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be with you all. I'm sure I will learn a lot about the game today.
Yes. Also, we have Rahul joining us. We have Jaideep joining us, and we have Zain joining us as well. So how you guys doing? Excited about WTC finals? All three of you?
Yes, we are very
Absolutely.
excited. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
What about you,
very excited for the
Jaideep?
game and looking forward to have a fresh start in England because the last game in England we played, especially the Test match we played against England, we were under the pass ball and we lost that game. So we just want to give a fresh start again and looking forward to give the best performances.
Yes. And Zain, I know you're a big Kohli fan. I know you must be expecting a lot from Virat Kohli tomorrow, right? For India, I know you are an Australian supporter, but I think you're expecting a lot from Virat Kohli tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's India, Australia. Who wouldn't be excited? Yeah. So, yeah, seeing Kohli's form, I hope he goes on to score big tomorrow and does justice because he has been the talk of the town so far regarding his form, regarding this IPL controversies with, that issue with Gautam Gambhir, and also he's been the highlight so far. So, I
Yes.
wish this time he's been highlighted for a good reason, and I hope he goes on to be. But I would want Australia to win the match, obviously, but I'll be happy if Kohli goes on to score around 50, 60, or 70. Does justice to his name.
Yes, I agree. And then we have Prajol joining us as well. So let's get into things, guys. So first of all, let's talk about the squad. Right now, I think we know that Rohit Sharma is going to lead for the first time in this WTC final. Let's go to Ankit right now. Ankit, are you satisfied with the squad that India chose? First of all, they got Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, KL Rahul was out. I think KS Bharat, Ashwin, Jadeja, Aksha Patel, Shadul, Mohammad Shami, Siraj, Umesh Yadav, and Jaidev Unadkat. Your thoughts about this squad? I think it's a strong looking squad. And I think we'll talk about the playing 11 also, first of all, like the likely playing 11, because there is a doubt over there. And let's get Ankit to start in. So I have gone with actually likely playing of 11. I have gone with Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Case Bharat, Jadeja, Ashwin or Umesh. It might depend for me. Shadul, Siraj, and Shami. So your thoughts, Ankit, first of all, on playing 11 and the squad as well, because right now we don't know about the conditions right now, whether they'll go with a fourth seamer or a second spinner. But your thoughts on that, if possible?
yeah, definitely. I think is Jasprit Bumrah's and Rishabh Pant's absence. I think there were forced changes, as you can see. So, I think this was the best possible available squad that we had, and that's what India has chosen. Coming to the playing 11, I think different people will have different views. Last time we did a make a blunder in overcast conditions. We gone in with two spinners, especially when the first day rained out. But still, we chose to go with the same squad, and it came back to haunt us because we did concede few extra runs in the first innings, and that's where New Zealand, I think, got ahead in the game. But coming back to this time around, I think first 3 days there will be bright sunshine. So this time around, I won't mind going in with two spinners, especially the record that Ashwin carries amongst the Australians. I think he is my key player in this game, if you ask me. So
Hmm.
I in my playing 11, I think I will go with Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, no brainers there. I will
Yes.
debut Ishan Kishan. No, I because I think he is a very good batsman, and I think in these key games, extra 20, 30 runs do matter a lot. So I have
Yeah.
a lot of respect for KS Bharat as a wicket keeper. But see,
Yes.
this is a one-off game. I do not want to keep my big gun Ishan Kishan holding and hoping that he will fire or not. But so I will give him a go. I will play with an aggressive mindset. I think he can really unsettle Nathan Lyon. So I will give
Mm,
him a go. I just hope he does a punch heroic for me. Then I will pick my both spinners, Jadeja and Ashwin. And Ashwin,
okay.
I think, has a wood over many Australian players. Be it
Mm,
Warner, be it Khwaja, be it Smith, be it Travis Head. So he's the no-brainer for me. I think I am slightly disappointed that there is a slash against his name. So he's a no-brainer for me.
all
So
right.
when if I pick my three seamers, I will pick Shardul over Umesh because of the simple reason I have seen Umesh being broken down in tests before. So I do not want to take that risk. I will
Yeah,
go with Shardul. I think he has a good record against Australia. I
yeah.
think he was in that GABA test, so he has happy memories against
Mm,
this side, and he's a fighting sort of a cricketer. So is
yes,
Mohammad Siraj, and the guy that holds the aces for us is Mohammad Shami. I think
mm,
if Shami has a good day against
yeah,
any opposition, the sort of form he is in, I think in
yes,
English conditions suits him the most because he's a seam bowler. So
mm,
if conditions go overhead, conditions do support him, I think he will be unplayable for these Australian batters. So I
okay,
pick India. I think though many feel that Australia has an upper hand over us, but I don't think once Hazelwood is out of this test match, I think India I will give India an edge in this against Australia, and I'm very confident that India will finally break the jinx. And in 1983, we won the World Cup in England. In 2013, we won the Champions Trophy. I think in
yes.
2023, India is going to win the WTC also. So
Mm.
let's hope for the best.
Yes. Let's get to Jaideep. Your thoughts over this, especially Ashwin or that fourth seamer, because we know in the oval at times. I mean, last time India went only with four seamers and one spinner. They included Jadeja, and a lot of people were asking where was Ashwin in that last match. And I put this slash because you never know in overcast conditions. You never know in the oval whether India will prefer that fourth seamer if weather does well, if it's very sunny, or whether it will be overcast. You never know what's going to happen in these pitches, but your thoughts, Jaideep? Should they go with a fourth seamer like Umesh Yadav, who's maybe not 100% match fit still? We are not sure about that. They have Unad Kat as well if they want that left arm seam as well, or they can go with our Ravichandran Ashwin, a finger spinner that can cause problems because we know in the oval, especially this the home ground to Surrey, we know spinners do well over there, and even in county matches also I've watched like spinners do well over there. So your thoughts over that, because it's like a question which is going around now within the Indian media and all.
Firstly, I would like to share what I heard about this test match. In the evening, I was just reading a post which mentioned that curator had a conversation with Ravi Shastri, and curator told him that it's going to be a bouncy track. And even after looking the track, when the first images of this track were released, we all knew that it's going to be a fast and bouncy track. Looking at the green top, so I think it has to be a sort of a very chaotic decision for the management whether to play Ashwin or to go with Shardul Thakur. See, my three bowlers are definitely going to be Mohammad Siraj, Mohammad Shami, and Umesh Yadav. I know that Umesh Yadav might not be sort of in touch with Test cricket that much in comparison with rest of the bowlers. But Umesh Yadav did a great job whenever he has been given a chance. So I think
Yes.
Mohammad Siraj, Mohammad Shami, and Umesh Yadav, my first three paces.
Yeah.
For Ashwin and Shardul thing, I think it's going to be a big question mark that who's going to play. Because as far as I know, it's a green top. It's going to be a fast and bouncy track. So management might consider Shardul over Ashwin, but we all know that Ashwin is very dangerous in any sort of conditions. Wherever you make Ashwin play, he'll pick some wickets for sure. He'll contribute with his bat as well.
Yes.
Shardul, I'm not very much sure that whether he'll be able to contribute with his bat or not. But Ashwin, I'm pretty much sure that he might be able to contribute with his bat as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be very difficult to answer this question that who's gonna play Shardul Thakur or Ravichandran Ashwin. But
Yeah.
if you want me to predict, then I think they'll go with Ashwin because
Mhm.
Ashwin has got reputation, and he's the world number one ICC world number one Test bowler as well. So you cannot
Yes.
risk world number one Test bowler. That's gonna be a joke. So
But last time I think he was number two 2 years ago, and they dropped him also in the WTC Finals. So who knows what the Indian
yes.
selectors will do like 2 years ago. But we've got Paji joining us as well. Paji, I want to ask another question over here because many people are thinking like Case Bharat. Yes, he might be a good keeper, but he hasn't contributed much with the bat, and he hasn't even. I think he's played. I think one or two England matches. I don't know whether he's played in England yet, but giving a debut to Ishan Kishan. Do you think that's a risk right now, Paji? Because we know Ishan Kishan has the capabilities right now, but do you think he can bat at the middle order, especially at number six, or should they go safe and play KS Bharat? Your thoughts over that, Paji?
I think they should definitely play KS Bharat. If they play two spinners, they've got to play
Yes,
KS Bharat because Ishan's wicket keeping is suspect, and even his batting form is suspect. So I can't understand why he's the standby player. I would have definitely gone for Jitesh. Jitesh Sharma, I would have put him in because he can hit the ball and his wicket keeping is better than Ishan. So I was struggling to see where Ishan fits into the team because can he bat at number six? Probably not. So yeah, it's looking. I think I'd stick to KS Bharat. He's in the team. He's the premier wicket keeper. His glove work is exceptional. I'm batting at six. If the top four do five for India, then you don't really need five and six to bat that much. So I think India are going to bank on the top four's batting. And if the
yeah,
top four fire, and out of the top four, the biggest player for me is got to be Pujara because Pujara blunts the ball. The rest will score the runs. So I think see what happens, and if they play Rahane, they can play Bharat at six. They don't need Ishan Kishan. But the only thing Ishan gives them is an extra left-hander. And I think other than that, I'd still pick Bharat
yes.
to over Ishan.
I agree. Let's get to Zain. So Zain, we'll get some comments over here as well. They've said that Jaidev Unadkat would be an underrated choice. Very less likely, of course, but he could bring a left arm variation. Your thoughts over that? Should Jaidev Unadkat be a consideration for India tomorrow?
I mean, like it can be a point, but since it's a one-off game, like it's a final, so I wouldn't want Jaydev Unadkar to play over Shami, Siraj, or Umesh because even though Umesh has been lightly out of form, he still has the experience in playing in England.
Yeah,
So having those three, if you bring in Jaydev Unadkar, it's like it doesn't make sense. Like they are going to get criticized. If this happens, I don't know
yeah,
if he performs. It's going to be like they are going to be get praised, but it's unlikely that Jaydev Unadkar is going to be playing. Yes, he brings in a left arm variation. Like Australia has Mitchell Stark. They go with one left arm and two right armers. But still bringing Jaydev Unadkat, I don't know who is he going to replace if he's coming in. Like, I don't think he can replace Siraj. I don't think he can replace Shami or either Shardul or Umesh. So
yeah.
it's like a no-brainer. I don't think Jaydev Unadkat should be in the conversation to come in and play unless there is a major injury or something.
Agree, definitely. Let's get into Rahul as well. Rahane obviously was added in the last minute. We know in the IPL he performed very well for CSK, and from that they thought that he will perform well as well in Test cricket, and they brought in as a late addition. What do you think that Ajinkya Rahane can bring into the team, especially at number five? We know, I mean, Rahane was dropped in the past few months, and then was brought back to the WTC Finals because KL Rahul got injured and a few others as well. So your thoughts, like the contributions that Rahane can do tomorrow?
Well, see, I'll put it this way. There was even talk of someone like Sarfraz Khan earlier coming and playing the World Test Championship final. But see, Rahane, he has not played Test cricket in a long time. I agree, but at the same time, he not only did well in the IPL. I also hear he has done well in first class cricket as well. He
Yeah.
has scored some runs over there.
Yes.
So I think he deserves his place back in the team. And let's not forget, he has also played a World Test Championship final before, so he has that experience of playing for India. So I think Rahane being in the team is a very good choice at number 5. It's his position also. So I think that is a very good choice to have Rahane at number 5. As far as the bowling attack is concerned, I think three pace bowlers should be selected for sure for me. That is Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Umesh Yadav. Although Umesh Yadav in this World Test Championship cycle, he has not really been at his best. I have to be honest, he's not been at his best, but he has the experience. He has played in English conditions before, so I think he should definitely play in a World Test Championship final. And
Mm.
the spinner, I think I'll go with the Ravindra Jadeja. Contrary to what a lot of people are saying, like a lot of people are saying we should go with our strengths and play two spinners, but I don't think we should do that. I think we should go with Ravindra Jadeja as the lone spinner. I know Ashwin, bowling wise, he has done better in England than Jadeja has with the ball, but Jadeja is necessary with the bat. We need a seventh batsman in the team, so Jadeja comes ahead of Ashwin for me for uh, that reason. The fourth
Yeah.
pacer, I think, would be between Shardul Thakur or Jaydev
No.
Unadkat. I would go. I wouldn't mind either one of them because Shardul Thakur. I probably prefer Jaydev Unadkat slightly more because he offers the left arm variation. I know he may not have played many test matches for India, but the thing is, Shardul Thakur, he hasn't quite performed. Apart from, I know he performed at the Oval last time against England, but he hasn't
Yes.
really done contributed too much with bat or ball outside of that. So I might take a gamble in this case and go with Jaydev Unadkat just to have the variation, the left arm variation in the bowling attack. What we have to keep in mind is that this pitch may not take spin. Last time in Southampton, India went with the two spinners, and it
Yes.
turned out that there was not really much spin in the pitch. And here
Mm.
again, we cannot rule out the possibility of rain. There is rain forecast for day 4 and 5, which is when the spinners are most likely to come into play in this match. So,
Yeah.
given that rain is forecast on day 4 and 5, there's a very good chance that spin may not come into play at all in this match. So, I think India has to go with the four pace bowlers and one spinner in this lineup. I think that is the more prudent option.
Agree, agree. Paju, coming to you. I mean, Rahane, but so I want to discuss about with you also on Rahane's choice because I mean, Rahane, we know he performed in the IPL or whatever, but I mean, this is a late call from the Indians to bring him straight away to the playing 11. I mean, the squad for the WTC Finals, and he got really criticized with the way that he played in the past year, especially. But then he's performed back in first class as well and IPL, as Rahul said. So do you agree, like the Indian selectors bringing back Rahane, and especially with his experience as well, or were there any other choices that India could have made, Paji?
I would have gone for Yashashvi. Yashashvi at 5 would have been a very dangerous option for India because one, it gives you the left-hander, and again, what we have to think in India, in England conditions is 80 overs. After 80 overs, new ball comes in. If your number 5 is in, you've technically got an opener batting at number 5. I think that's why I think number 5 position is a very important position because usually if the top batsman performing, see out 75 overs and you're 5 down at 80 overs and you've got somebody who can open the batting with the red ball and is in prime form as well. And I would love to have seen Yashashvi come in. I think it's come a bit too early for him. Had he made his debut
Yes.
before for India, I think he could have fitted that role. Even I think that guy is just dangerous. But I think Rahane's timing is very important for him, and his timing looks very good. So I think the option is there because we've lost Pant. I think Pant is the biggest loss for India because that man in England is just like a machine. So you will guarantee to get, between 70 to 100 runs with Pant. So whether Rahane performs, we want him to perform. Whether he can, that's a different question. And against the Australian, I think batting in England does suit Rahane a bit more than batting in India. So I think it's just an obvious. I think the batting for India kind of picks itself. Where the problem for
Mm,
India will be: do they go with two spinners or do they go with Shardul or Nadkat? And I'd go for the two spinning options because what they want to do is be able to rest the bowlers. If the quick bowlers fire, the spinners won't be needed. If the quick bowlers do become expensive, and again with the Duke's ball, you can rough up quite quickly and stop swinging quite quickly. So I think that's another thing that we have to look at, and maybe that
mm,
will suit us to have two spinners in the team, two double threat for Australia with their spin options because I think only Labuschagne and Khawaja probably are the dangers in the batting for us. So we get those out quickly, then
we
we're in there. We're
we
in there. Yeah.
Yeah. But Paju, how's the weather in England, by the way? Since you're in England, do you expect it to be overcast or
To
will
be
it be
fair,
sunny?
it
Like,
was predicted really nice today, and it's been a bit cloudy. So, but yesterday was fine, and tomorrow the weather is going to be 2021. What the big problem is, oval pitch. We don't know how that performs early in the season because it's in the late season because it has 4 or 5 used pitches for practices on there. The ball flies and does get roughed up quite a bit. So I think. What we'll have to probably end up doing is to see what the weather conditions are. There's no hill at the Oval, so it is pretty flat, unlike Lords, where if there's a bit of cloud cover and you're bowling down the hill, the ball does
mm,
seem a lot. I think, yeah, if it's dry conditions, sun's out, you kind of want to. I don't think it's going to be batting first or second type of thing. I think if India bat, they've just got to make sure they score 375 to 420. If they can get that score on the board, I think they will be in a very good position.
definitely, yeah. Let's come back to Ankit, and let's talk about key players to watch out for. So for me, I think King Kohli definitely is a player to watch out for, especially with his late form. Especially him scoring, he scored a Test century also against Sri Lanka back in last year as well, and he's really coming to form. Had a good IPL as well. Now he's in the grind too, and he went early also to England, obviously for match practice. So for me, definitely King Kohli is definitely going to be key in this Test match. So Ankit, your thoughts about Kohli because he might have a less average than Rohit Sharma in England, but I think with his form, I think he will definitely perform well. According to me, I feel like with his late form right now, I think he's definitely going to be key. Your thoughts because I think Kohli has really emerged because we know back then Kohli really struggled against seamers and especially against swing bowling of Anderson and Broad, especially in England, he struggled. But in the 2018 series, we saw a vast improvement of Kohli and he scored plenty of runs. So and improve that average also. I think it was in 15 or 17 his average, it went to 33 or whatever. So your thoughts how Kohli will be key tomorrow, Ankit, like for this WTC finals?
I think Kohli has proved that form is temporary and class is permanent. As you have mentioned, that his first series in England was quite forgettable, but he came back very strong. So there is no doubt he is the main player. He is the backbone of Indian team. I think he is I think eager to perform in big games now.
Yeah,
Off late, if you see his past record, he has not done that well in the big games. But I think he is in best mind zone now. The way he was batting in IPL also, I
yeah,
think he is all set for the big one. I think he is the key player, but I think Shubman Gill also in batting. I think he is in
mm,
tremendous touch, and I think the way he handled Mitchell Stark in Australia, I think Mitchell Stark still remember him for a long time. The way he was dominating him. So I am
yeah,
very confident that Shumban Gill will be a very big factor in this game. He is in tremendous form. He is middling the ball, and I think the Australian since Hazelwood is not part of the playing 11, I think
yeah,
he is the one who can really take down Mitchell Stark very early in the game. And we know we never know which Mitchell Stark will turn up. One day he will bowl and he will be unplayable, and other days he is just giving runs every over. So I think Shubman Gill will really play an aggressive role. You will see him if India bats first. He will try to take down Mitchell Stark very quickly because I think
mm,
Scott Boland is also under a bit of pressure. He has been chosen ahead of Michael Nesser, but I think
mm,
Michael Nesser could have been a better choice for Australia because, as one of our panelists mentioned, that the track will have bounce. And I think Michael Nesser was a taller sort of a bowler, would have assisted Australia more. but him being preferred over Michael Nesser, I think he will be under a big pressure, Scott Boland. So I know he has bowled well in Australia, but I
Yeah,
think in big pressure game in against big batting lineup, I think he can be found wanting. So I am very confident that our batters, as Sir was saying, that if we bat first and we put 375 or 420 runs on the board, I think India will boss the game from there on. But because India needs a good first inning score to have a big say in this test match. I think if India bats well first time around, I think then India will be able to win this test match because first innings is going to be very, very crucial in this final.
definitely. Yeah. Jaideep, coming to you as well, how crucial Virat Kohli is going to be, because we know at number three, we know the bulk of runs is scored by Kohli, and we know the form that Virat Kohli is in the past year as well. We cannot count out Kohli as well. So, your thoughts, the contributions that Kohli has done, because I mean, in the past few years, I think Kohli has really improved in English conditions. In the 2018 series, we saw Kohli he contributed so much for India for them to win over there in England. So, your thoughts, and especially in the 2021 series as well. So, your thoughts about Kohli?
I think it's going to be very important, for Virat Kohli also. And from the perspective of Team India, Virat Kohli is going to be very important, and also from the perspective of Virat Kohli as well, to score in big match like this one, the WTC final. So Virat Kohli will also be looking to score some runs here because since long he has not been the best of Kohli in the ICC knockouts. Then I would say,
Yeah,
even if you see the T20 World Cup semi-final, even you see the matches before that, like the World Cup semi-final, the 2017 Champions Trophy final. So Virat Kohli also wants to score some runs in the ICC knockouts because he has not done that thing since long time. So
mm,
from Virat Kohli's point of view, it's gonna be very very uh, he might be looking to score some runs in this game because it's a very big game for him. And also from Team India's perspective, from their point of view, they want Virat Kohli to score some runs because the kind of form Virat Kohli is in, Team India would like to Team India would like to have services of Virat Kohli because he has played a good cricket in England, as you were mentioning. 2018 series, he was very good against Anderson and Broad. He
yeah,
was able to tackle both the prime paces of England very well, and
mm,
he has played a lot of series in England, so he
yeah,
definitely has an idea about how the pitch plays, how the wind plays, what kind of bowler, which way to play which bowler. So Virat Kohli knows a lot about these conditions. So
yeah,
he's definitely going to be a key. But if we discuss about Indian batting lineup is definitely looking strong. Rohit Sharma, we might say that he is not in that sort of touch, but I think the way he played against Australia, not that good, obviously, but he played against Australia in BGT at home.
yes,
Not that good for sure, but he was looking in great touch. What I think, what a test batsman is required to do, he need to control the innings. He need to stay at the crease for as long as possible. So Rohit
mm,
Sharma was sort of doing it. He was getting good starts. He was able to convert some starts into big innings as well. But somewhere in between, in some innings he stumbled, in some innings he was able to score as well. So
yeah,
overall, I don't think Rohit Sharma might. You can, yeah, you can't say that Rohit Sharma is an out. He's out of form. If
yeah,
we talk about Shubman Gill is in really really good touch. He's scoring runs for sure. He has been the orange cap holder for the Gujarat Titans as well. So
mm,
Shubman Gill for sure is in great touch. Cheteshwar Pujara has scored thousands of runs for his respective county teams. He has been the one guy who was there in England. He
mm,
assessed the conditions well. He was. I think Cheteshwar Pujara is the one who is the best prepared to play in these conditions. Virat Kohli,
definitely,
as we discussed, he want to score runs in the ICC knockouts. So he
Yeah.
will definitely score some runs. Ajinkya Rahane has been in the squad as well as in the form, back in the form as well. So we will expect some big innings or some big role from Ajinkya as well. Just one thing that India batting lineup lacks is Rishabh Pant. We
Mm.
definitely are going to miss Rishabh Pant because he has been one of the performers, one of the major performers in BGT 2020 as well as India versus England in
Yes.
2021, I guess. So
Yes.
he's definitely gonna be a major miss for our team.
Mm.
But I think if Jadeja and Ashwin, as I mentioned that Ashwin is going to play in this match, so
Yeah.
if they both manage to score some runs, then it's gonna be okay, and batting lineup will do good, and India is going to pause the game.
Mm. Agree. Let's get into the bowling and let's come to Zain. Zain, your thoughts about Mohammad Siraj, because we know Mohammad Siraj has been really, really little. He's had a very good IPL season. We know how he's done well in England as well in the past. Played 5 matches in England, has picked up 18 wickets and at an average of 31 in econ, 3.69 economy. So, but anyways, we know Siraj how little he has been in the with the new ball, with the new Duke ball. So, what can you expect from Mohammad Siraj, Zain, because he's the leading fast bowler for India?
Siraj has obviously been in tremendous form, especially with the new ball. Even in the IPL, we saw him getting wickets up front in the power play. And talking about Siraj, what stands me out is he led the Indian bowling attack, which won the BGT in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, in Australia. Despite
Yeah.
debuting in that series in the final match when like almost half of the Indian squad was injured, he led the bowling attack and he did tremendously well. So that condition suits him. And with the new ball, with his pace, like he clicks 140 plus consistently. The average doesn't do justice. The numbers obviously don't do justice to what Siraj is capable of because average of 31 is not quite good. But still, that doesn't do any justice to what Siraj is capable with the new ball. I think
Yeah.
David Warner and Usman Khawaja, if they are to get runs, they need to get over that opening spell of Mohammad Siraj, and especially with Mohammad Shami partnering Siraj to fast like seam ballers. They don't rely on swing much. They are uphold the seam, and obviously in England, as one of our person mentioned, there is bounce in this condition, in this pitch, in this turf. So I
Yeah.
think with Shami and Siraj bowling from both the ends, it's going to be a really tough first 10 overs for the Australian openers. And
Mm.
then even if one of Warner or Khawaja gets out early, it's going to be challenging even for the number one batsman, who is Manas Labuschagne. I don't think he would feel comfortable facing Siraj and Shami up front with the Red Duke, the new one, in those conditions, especially with the form these two are. Because if I'm not mistaken, Shami won the purple cap and Siraj was just behind him. So
Yeah.
two tremendous bowlers, both in good forms. So I think it's going to be a real threat for Australian openers to get over that first hour.
Agree. Coming to Rahul, we know David Warner hasn't been in the greatest form, and I've discussed this early also in the day with the two Australian guests as well. But the David Warner versus Siraj matchup will be very interesting because we know Warner hasn't been in the greatest forms right now. He's coming with a bad patch right now, and Siraj properly could be lethal to Warner, especially with how he swings the ball with that Duke ball and really cover him. So, your thoughts ahead of that matchup between Warner and Siraj, Rahul?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a very key matchup in this contest. Siraj does very well with the new ball, and we know David Warner has really struggled in English conditions. As a matter of fact, David Warner has struggled in Test cricket in any conditions outside Australia. To be honest, he's not been good at all outside Australia. And last time Australia toured England, Warner was basically Stuart Broad's bunny. I think Stuart Broad got him out 7 times during the last Australia's last Ashes tour of England. So
Yeah.
Warner definitely has got weaknesses against swing bowling, and I think Mohammad Siraj, not just Mohammad Siraj, Mohammad Shami too. Both of them are bowlers who can trouble David Warner and get him out early. I kind of see Warner as kind of a free wicket up front for India. I think we can get him out cheaply. But I think it's good. Kawaja is going to be the real problem because Kawaja has been more versatile than Warner. He's done well across all conditions for Australia throughout this World Test Championship cycle. So I see Kawaja as the bigger threat than David Warner among the two openers.
Hmm, I agree. Let's come to Paji and let's talk about Rohit Sharma, obviously the captain of Team India and the one who has a very good average right now in England. He recently did well also in the India versus England series, like that happened in 2021 as well. Has some good stats. We know Rohit Sharma is of late only came into the test scene. I mean, to the test playing 11, and now he's captain of the team. But I think he's also very crucial to the playing 11. I know he didn't have the greatest of IPLs, but still we cannot underestimate Rohit's form as well. He can give good starts along with Shubman Gill as well if both of them get starts. But your thoughts, Paji, of Rohit Sharma and what he can contribute, and a bit on Shubman Gill as well, the openers of India, basically.
Very, very important part of India will be Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. If they get India off to a good start, and I'm talking, 50 to 60 without loss in any of the match, then Rohit will come good. I think the risks that he has to take in IPL, I think that's how he's getting out. He's getting out to stupid shots. Time isn't a problem going to be in England, so I don't think he'll take those risks. I think he'll play sensibly, and with Shubman in the form of his life, if they two can stick around, past the first hour of the new ball, then India will be in a good position. And I think Rohit just gives us that captaincy type of technical superiority. I think that's the difference between him and Virat. Virat is very emotional, whereas Rohit will probably see the game. And he's not done bad as a captain, even in the Red Bull game. So I think realistically, I think his form will be back. I don't think we judge him on IPL form. I think this is playing for India. It's a completely different ball game. It's the
Yes.
red ball. He seems to be looking very good in the nets as well. So I saw a couple of clips in the nets, and he looks like he's timing the ball well. So very important. As we said before, the top four of India with the fifth with the Rahane coming in there, and then you've got Bharat six, Jadeja seven, and Ashwin eight. That gives India a lot of batting depth. So if they go for the Ashwin and if Shardul comes in, Shardul could do a job at that number as well. So I think the batting is important, but the foundations is going to be set by Rohit and Shubman. And if Shubman can continue the form, I think this Australian bowling attack, I think Cummins is going to be the danger man for us. If Cummins, he can get into some good rhythm, I think he's probably there. I'm happy Hazelwood is not bowling against us. So I think Starr can be hit. And as we said before, if Starr gets hit, they've only got one spinner, and that one spinner will have to bowl a lot of overs. So I think realistically, I think the job for India is not to lose any wickets up and then use Pujara to blunt the ball. Just get Pujara to blunt the ball. They don't have the spin options for us. The conditions, and again in England, 80 overs takes a bit of time, more than time if you don't have spinners. What makes the game quicker is if you have two spinners, you quickly rotate the bowlers get a rest, and then you can just give them 5 over spurts. And those 5 over spurts, they go full throttle like Shami, Siraj. And that's why I like Umesh Yadav as well. I think Umesh Yadav, he's one of those bowlers that can bowl as good as he in the first over to the eighth or ninth over. There's no drop off with him. You get a very similar standard of deliveries from Umesh. I know he's not been in the best of form, but you need one of those bowlers that will say, okay, you just tie up one end for 8 overs, and then once you get into 45, 50 overs, then the spinners take over. And then you rest your pace bowlers for the second half, because I think if this goes to day 5 and Australia are bowling, in the last day, I think that's where India could cause some damage.
Yeah. So let's get into Ankit once again. Let's talk about Jadeja's importance, Ankit, because we know Jadeja can prove really key, especially with the bowling. We know last time against New Zealand in the WTC final, he really struggled, couldn't pick up wickets, and that's where I think people were thinking why we couldn't include his second spinner. But I think his batting has been brilliant. I mean, especially in India and in subcontinental conditions, we know how good Jadeja has been. But your thoughts, Ankit, how crucial Jadeja will be, especially the bowling? I mean, if he's the lone spinner, he should carry it somehow. We know last time what happened when he couldn't pick up wickets, especially against these New Zealand batters. I mean, he really struggled, and perhaps that's why I think a lot of people are saying for that they should include Ashwin as well to support him. But how crucial Jadeja will be with both bat and ball?
Just to correct you a bit, Ashwin did play in the finals last time around. We were missing the fourth seamer there because New Zealand went in with 5 quicks and we went in with three seamers and two spinners, and it was totally overcast across the game. So that's where we struggled last time around. We got our selection wrong. Now coming back to your
Yes,
question, Ravinder Jadeja, I think as a batter he has improved tremendously. There is no doubt about it. In the entire WTC cycle, if you see, he has been tremendous with the bat. Even in England, in that solitary test match, he and Pant got hundreds. So with
right.
bat, there is no denying the fact that he adds lots of value. He's a
Hmm.
gun fielder. We know he can pick a brilliant catch, can give you a run out of nowhere. But
Definitely.
Jadeja needs conditions in bowling to assist him. And this is not a
Right.
hidden fact. He is not a bowler on a flat deck that can give you wickets. He is
Yeah.
sort of a holding bowler. So if he is the solitary spinner, then his role changes in the 11. Then his role is to
Yeah.
hold one end up, and then seamers have to take the wicket in the first innings especially. But in the
Hmm.
second innings, when the track is slightly 3 days, 4 days old, he is very dangerous when track is assisting him because his strength is consistency. He does not have
Yes.
lots of variations, but he is very consistent. He
Hmm.
attacks the stumps, and then when the track is playing bit of tricks, then he can get those LBWs and bad pads into the play. But
Yep.
if others way around, if I say R. Ashwin has a hold on this Australian lineup, as we all know, he's very good against left-handers. But even against Labuschagne and Smith, his record has been quite well. He really made Smith struggle in last BGT when India toured Australia. And one of our friends was mentioning that the track has bounced. So when track has bounced, spinner can that bounce can also be utilized by R. Ashwin. So I am very in my books, two spinners should play because this time around conditions are not that overcast. Though I agree on fourth and fifth day there is chances of rains, but I think
Yeah.
first 3 days are also there. So we
Hmm.
have to look at I think on a larger perspective, and I think these two are experienced players. Last time we got it
Yeah.
totally wrong because it was completely overcast entire test match. So that was the big blunder because but this time
Definitely.
around I think first 3 days there will be sun will be out, and I think
Hmm.
we will should play to our strength. And R Ashwin is a very dangerous bowler, and I think he has woods on the Australians. So and R
Yeah.
Ravindra Jadeja, he is a no brainer. He will definitely play in the 11. I think he's batting well. Off late he has won the IPL also for his side, so his
Yeah.
confidence is sky high. So
Hmm.
I think he will definitely feature in the 11, and he will be one of the key players. If by God's grace, if we didn't get a good start, so he will
Hmm.
do the repair job for us. So he is a very key member of this test side, and I hope he plays his role very well in the tomorrow's game.
Yes. All right. Let's get to Zain. So Zain, coming in. So I want to talk about the Australian perspective as well, especially Cameron Green and Scott Boland. Especially I want to talk because he's coming with tremendous confidence, especially with the way that he performed in the cricket. He's proven a lot with his bowling. We haven't seen much of his batting abilities. We saw he scored a century in his last test. We've seen Cameron Green contributing a lot with bowling. So how do you think like the Indian batters? And I know Cameron Green doesn't have that much experience in England, but he's in full confidence and experience as he has. He could trouble certain Indian batters, especially in the middle order like Rahane, Kohli, trouble them with his seaming options and with his variations that he's had. So, your thoughts towards that?
Yeah, exactly. We've been talking these three upfront bowlers like Stark, Hazelwood, Cummings, Boland have been in the headlines throughout this week, but everyone seems to be forgetting what Cameron Green is capable with the ball. He is what Hardik Pandya used to be for India. Like Paji said, in Hardik Pandya, how major missing he is for India, especially in these conditions. That is what Cameron Green brings to Australia, and that is where Australia have the edge because they don't have to rely on their three front seamers. Even if they are like drained out and they are gassed, Cummins can rely on Cameron Green to even if he gets a little bit reverse, he's going to be a big threat for the middle overs and middle order for the Indian batsmen, especially Rahane, as people said that yes, he's been in good form but hasn't played Test cricket for a while. So Cameron Green may disturb him in these conditions with the old ball as well. And
Hmm.
coming to that, when if you're playing Jadeja and Ashwin together, that basically means you're playing a better shot. I wouldn't say Ashwin is not a good batsman, but in this condition, you would want a proper batsman. That is where Rishabh Pant comes in, where it's going to be a major miss. Yes, KS Bharat might be in the playing 11 or not. Like Ricky Ponting also said, they would want to play Ishan Kishan as the X factor. But I don't think India would want to rely on that X factor. They would want their top five to get all the runs they want, and the rest of the tailenders should just pitch in with 10 or 20 or 30. So I would say Cameron Green is going to be a big threat, especially to Bharat, Rahane, and Jadeja. Those three, especially knowing Bharat has no experience and playing in such a big final if he's included. So this is where Australia have the edge. As a fourth seamer, they have Cameron Green who can bat as well. Yes, he's not been up to the mark with his batting, but we saw his form during the IPL. He played in different positions, but in Test cricket his position has been fixed. He's batting at number five, I guess. So he being there gives confidence to Australian batting order as well. They know that they have batsmen down the order. They have a really good batting depth. And then coming to the bowlers as well, if they are drained and if they are gassed, they know Cameron Green can pitch in 10 to 15 overs at a stretch with Nathan Land bowling from the other side. So he's going to be a big threat, and Australia have the edge over India on that particular position.
Hmm. I agree on that. Yeah. All right, let's get to Jaideep and let's talk about Cheteshwar Pujara because I think we spoke a bit on him as well during the beginning. But how crucial he going to be? Especially we know that he's played county a lot of times now. This season also he played for Sussex and he was in the county's stint right now. I mean, he's the only batter who was actually getting used to the English conditions because Australia we saw Labuschagne, Smith, and a few batters getting exposed, even certain players getting exposed to the English conditions. But in India, it was only Pujara during the IPL season that he was only the Indian batter who was playing over there and getting the experience over there in English conditions. So your thoughts, especially because Pujara also has been coming off good form. I mean, especially domestic cricket, he's been performing well for Team India. Also, he did well in subcontinental conditions recently. Now in English conditions, also for county cricket, also he's been performing as of late. So your thoughts about Pujara?
I think what Pujara did, he was playing county cricket during the IPL season. It was a very good decision, and it's not the first time Pujara was doing this. He has done this quite a number of times before. Pujara wants to stay in England, wants to assess the conditions, and wants to understand how it's gonna be, how we're gonna do that particular task that we want to achieve. So that's why Pujara was there in England, and Pujara was preparing for his game, preparing for the big day, preparing for the big finals. So yes, he's definitely going to be a key player for Team India. As many of us were mentioning that he was a very important player in the 2020-2021 Border Gavaskar Trophy as well. When no one was there, Pujara stood on a difficult day. Pujara, had all the bruises and all. He faced all the difficult bowlers, and he made sure that India is not going to lose that series. So yes, he's definitely going to be a key player for Team India. And if you see, if you look at the Indian batting lineup, Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma are the guys who once gets going will charge the innings. And if somehow they lose their wickets, then who's going to come in and who's going to control the innings? It's going to be Pujara, because you
Hmm.
need that kind of players in your playing 11. We had Rahul Dravid before. We are now having Cheteshwar Pujara, who irrespective of what is required by the team management, or what the conditions are requiring, what anyone else is requiring, they are just interested, and they will just be doing what they will be doing is to play their game, build their innings. You won't see Pujara, smashing those long sixes or hitting those boundaries consistently. But what he'll do, he'll build
Mm.
the inning. He'll make sure that wickets from his end won't fall. So that
Mm.
basically is the role of Cheteshwar Pujara in our side. So it becomes really important. In even in T20 cricket, we say that even if you have a team of hitters, they won't perform on the pitch, which is sluggish and slower pitch in comparison to others. So in that pitches, you need that sort of batsman who can anchor the innings and who has to make sure that the inning goes till the 20th over. So that's basically what we need from Cheteshwar Pujara. He'll have to make sure that even if he plays at a lower strike rate in comparison with other players,
Mm.
he just build he'll just have to build his inning, and he'll just have to make sure that innings is going well. Wickets are not falling from his end or from another end. So that's basically is the role of Cheteshwar Pujara, and I'm sure the kind of form he is in right now, in the way he has assessed the conditions throughout the county cricket season that Cheteshwar Pujara has been playing.
Yeah.
He know it quite well that how to do the job, how to finish this WTC cycle off. So I think he's going to do well, and he's going to make sure that he'll contribute as many runs as possible for Team India in this big game.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. All right. So let's discuss about the strengths and weaknesses. So we've got Richik joining us as well. So let's get Richik's point of view. Okay, Richik. So you joined in. So Richik, so let's talk about now the strengths and weaknesses of the Indian Test team. Let's get into you. What do you think are the strengths of Team India right now for this WTC final, according to you, Richik? Hello, Richik.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pound. Pound, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I was talking about the strengths of Team India for this WTC. What do you think are the possible strengths for Team India for this WTC final?
I feel some batsmen are good in form. That's some strength, and of course the bowlers. Of course, bowlers like Shami, Siraj, they are good in form. That's good in form, and Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma. If they played very well, they are more strengths. I think they are the strength for the team.
Yeah. Ankit, coming to you, what do you think? What do you think are the possible strengths according to? I know Richik elaborated a bit, but to elaborate a bit further, like to explain a bit further, what do you think are the possible strengths for this Team India that can trouble the Australian players throughout this WTC final match?
I think India has an advantage that we have been beating Australia consistently in Border Gavaskar Trophy consistently for last 4 5 seasons, if you see. So India is having a wood over Aussies, I think. In the big games of late, Indians, especially in Test cricket, India have done well against Australia. So psychologically, I think India is ready for this game. So this, I think, is one of our biggest strengths. As a team, though everyone is not picking India as a favorite, but deep
Mm,
down, I think Australians also know that Indians have been giving them hard time consistently in Test
mm,
cricket. So that is, I think, one of our biggest strengths.
yeah.
Secondly, I think our batting is very strong. I think these are the players who have felt the, you can say, who have felt the heart broken last time around. So they are now ready, I think, to turn it around. Shuman Gill, Rohit Sharma, Pujara, Rahane, Kohli, or Jadeja, Ashwin, all of them were there last time around in England. And I know as a player, we can understand it feels bad when you miss out for the trophy that you have worked so hard for 2 years. So I think
Mm,
this batting unit seems they are ready for it this time around. I think they know Australian bowling a lot. And one of our friends was mentioning Cameron Green. But I think Cameron Green got hurt in the last of the IPL games. And what I remember, BGT only, I think he made his debut last time around when India toured. In first 4 games, he couldn't pick any wickets, at least against India. He couldn't pick
mm,
any wickets. So I don't see him a very big threat. Especially
Yeah.
in England, I think reverse swing hardly happens. In England, I think if you can seam the ball around, that is the biggest worry. In English conditions, as far as my knowledge goes, seam
Yeah.
bowlers are the ones who are the toughest to face. So I don't. Josh Hazelwood was that sort of a bowler who seams the ball around. So
Yeah.
let's see. So I think this Indian batting has an edge, and I think our spinners also. I think our spinners are quite good. If I think
Mm,
pitch gives slight assistance, this Indian spinners can be very good. So I think India have lots of good strength, and I think this team will turn it around this time. The result also.
agreed. Let's talk about the weaknesses as well, Rahul. I mean, coming we obviously mentioned about punt that we are missing also Shreyas Iyer, Jasprit Bumrah, and KL Rahul as well. As of late, he got injured as well. So three key players along with Pant also getting injured. So how would that affect the balance? Because we know Rahane coming back after a long time in the team, even though we were speaking about Rahane. And then obviously Shreyas Iyer, that number four spot also. I know Kohli and Pujara were occupying that, but that number five spot was what even Paji also was talking about, that how crucial that will be. And the keeper wise also, we don't have Pant and the KL. Rahul was the second backup choice. So even he was not there. If he was there, probably there could have been some balance in that 11. So your thoughts, Rahul, especially of the weaknesses, like like
Yeah.
mentioning your weaknesses.
Yeah. So in my opinion, if you see this whole World Test Championship cycle, Virat Kohli has been out of form. Pujara, Rahane, all of them went off the boil during these last 2 years. So, and that's been a big concern for the Indian team. But at the same time, this is when our middle order improved. Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer have played savior for India so many times when the top order had collapsed. So losing them is definitely a very big loss in my opinion. And so even though Kohli and Rahane have scored some runs lately across different formats, see the problem for India here is we have not played Test cricket in a long time. Since the Australia Test series that we played a three-match ODI series with them, and then there was 2 months of IPL. So it really remains to be seen how prepared this team is and how they will fare. It's hard to judge the form when they've not played any Test match for 2 months nearly.
Yeah.
So, and given that Kohli, Pujara, and Rahane have been off the boil for 2 years, I think there is a huge question mark whether they will really step up in this final. The strength lies in the opening pair. Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill can give a good start, but then the question remains whether Kohli, Pujara, and Rahane and the batsmen to come can capitalize on that start and give India the good total they need to win the match. With the new with the bowling as well, I think the new ball bowling is our strength. Mohammad Shami and Mohammad Siraj, they can really be lethal up front. But then apart from getting a good start with the ball, you have to. I'm really wonder if the other bowlers can support them and back up the start because Umesh Yadav has weaknesses. Jaydev Unadkat, he's playing in his first final, not much experience. Then Shardul Thakur again, he's been very on and off. So and then Jadeja, we don't know how effective he will be in the conditions that don't particularly favor spin, which are not exactly spinning paradise. So it remains to be so with the batting, it remains to be seen how the middle order will support the openers, given there's a good start, and also how the other bowlers will support the new ball bowlers, given we get a good start with the new ball. So those remain to be seen, in my opinion.
Yeah. Zain, do you see any weakness in the bowling lineup of India, or do you see like all strengths in the bowling lineup of India? Can you spot any weaknesses in the Indian bowling lineup, especially with the third seam, or do you think like the bowling lineup of India is settled, especially against these batters of Steve Smith, Manas Labuschagne, Usman Khawaja, with the form that they are in? Do you expect, like, do you predict, like, do you see any weaknesses in the Indian bowling lineup?
Uh, Absolutely not. Only weakness I would see is if one of them has an off day, so it's gonna be like done and dusted for India. Apart from that, this is like probably the best bowling lineup India could go against this Australian batting lineup. Yes, Jasprit Bumrah is a major missing, but with the form of Siraj and Shami, especially those two, with the new ball up front, I don't see any weakness there. And then even the third seamer, if Siraj and Shami get wickets up front, it automatically boosts the confidence of the third seamer, and he's gonna pretty do well because Australia will be mentally down if they lose two quick wickets up front. Yes, Australia batting lineup highly relies on Manas Labuschagne and Steve Smith, and also Travis Head, who's been in tremendous form and has not been in the headlines so far. So I would say if even though if Australia lose the top two, okay, even Manas Labuschagne and Steve Smith won't be comfortable facing Shami and Siraj up front, even though how great those two are.
Yeah.
So if Mohammad Shami and Siraj don't have an off day, it's gonna be a pretty interesting seam bowling, new ball bowling in from India in England. It's gonna be lovely to watch pure Test cricket. I'm hoping tomorrow it's gonna be pure entertainment with the movement and outswing and in-swing from both these bowlers. It's gonna be lovely to watch.
Definitely.
Apart from that, I don't see any weaknesses except for that spin bowling of Jadeja and Ashwin. It's a talk that who are they going to play two spinners or one spinner and four seamers. So I think the only weakness India has is their selection. Like they have so much going on. KS Bharat or Ishan Kishan and then Ashwin or Jadeja and Ashwin and Jadeja or Ashwin or Umesh. So I think only position where India are slightly weak is their selection. Like they have a lot to think about.
I agree with you. Jaideep, any thoughts on the weaknesses also that they have? Do you think like especially the third seamer like Shardul Thakur or Umesh Yadav could be an issue? Especially Shardul Thakur, we know in the IPL didn't have a great IPL, but we know like his batting has been crucial at times. But Umesh Yadav also not coming with match fitness as well. So, any concerns about that third seaming option right now for India? Right now,
I don't think there are any concerns for Team India right now, in bowling especially because if you see Mohammad Shami has been in amazing form. If you see his past few games, and obviously if you consider the IPL as well, he has been in a tremendous form. If you think about Mohammad Siraj, he has been in a great form as well. He did
yeah,
a great job in the IPL. He did a great job in the Border Gavaskar Trophy and a few series even before Border Gavaskar Trophy. So even Mohammad Siraj is in good touch as well. So I think both these bowlers, the power play ball, the basically the bowlers who are going to give a start to the Indian bowling, Mohammad Shami and Mohammad Siraj, both of them are in very good form, are in very good
yeah,
touch. So
yeah,
basically these two bowlers are very important for Indian bowling lineup, and both of them are in good form. If you see the third bowling option, that is Umesh Yadav, in my opinion. Umesh is definitely
okay,
going to play, that's for sure. I don't think Shardul Thakur comes in as third bowler. He might come in as a fourth pacer, but he'll definitely not come in the side as a third pacer. So
okay,
I'm pretty much sure that Umesh Yadav is going to make his way in the playing 11. Many of us think that Umesh Yadav has not been in great touch. He has not been up to his best. But we'll have to question ourselves that whether Umesh Yadav was given enough number of chances in last few test matches that India played. Yadav was not there because we had Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Jasprit Bumrah.
yeah,
So there was no need of someone like Umesh Yadav. And if we don't consider Siraj, like the times when Siraj didn't made his debut in the Indian side, then we had Ishan Sharma. So three
yeah,
pacers at that time were Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah, and Ishan Sharma. So there was no need of someone like an Umesh Yadav again. So I think Umesh Yadav was not given enough number of chances to prove himself in last few tests, especially. But whenever
yes,
he has given chances, what I have seen in that particular scenario, Umesh Yadav, if not the best, he has been in a decent form. When you're
yeah,
not playing consistently for a particular side, then you need some time, that's for sure. But even even with the number of chances that Umesh Yadav had, he was in a decent touch. He was bowling at good lines. He was bowling at good lengths, and he was picking some wickets as well. If not zero wickets, if not five, four, six wickets, but he had some wickets at least.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I don't think that Umesh Yadav is going to be a weakness for Team India. But he has not been too. If you compare him with Shami and Siraj, you cannot say that Umesh is going to perform at that level.
Yeah.
Which is going to be done by Shami and Siraj. But Umesh is definitely going to do some good for Team India. That's for sure. And
Hmm.
as you were mentioning that bowling might be a weakness, I don't think bowling would be a weakness because as far as my thoughts are concerned, Shami and Siraj already are in good form. Umesh, as I mentioned, if he gets some help and if he gets going, then there's no stopping Umesh Yadav, that we all know.
Yep.
And if you talk about the two spinners here, Jadeja and Ashwin,
Yeah.
if Ashwin plays, he's world number one test bowler. He's the deadliest. We know that. And one of
Yeah.
our friends were mentioning that we should not look on the overcast days. We should
Hmm.
firstly look at the days where sun is going to be out and bowling lineup, especially spinners, are going to get at least some support from the pitch and the conditions. So we should look at those days first. So I think if Ashwin plays, he's definitely going to have some help from the conditions. If not some help, yeah, even without those helps, Ashwin is a dangerous bowler. And if you
Right.
see Jadeja consistently bowls at good lines, so yes, he's gonna be dangerous as well. Yes, please, Rahul.
Yeah. Yeah. Rahul. Yes, you can go. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, since we are on the topic of Umesh Yadav, I actually just wanted to quickly read off a stat. Actually, Umesh Yadav, he's played only one match at the Oval so far, and he actually did pretty well in that match. In total, he took 6 wickets for 136 runs in 37.2 overs,
Wow.
average of 22.6, and strike rate of 37.3. So
Yeah.
that's a positive for, I think, definitely an argument for picking Umesh Yadav in the playing 11.
Hmm. Definitely. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's go into prediction time, guys. So yeah, we've asked your predictions for the match. So let's go into it. So Sujay has said Shubman Gill is going to be the highest scorer for India, and Siraj is going to be the highest wicket taker. So let's ask the panelists as well. Let's start with Ankit as well. Who do you think are going to be the highest wicket taker, highest run scorer, man of the match, and the winner? Let's start with Ankit, then let's go to Rahul, then Zain and Jaideep, and then I'll finish it off. All right.
I think highest run scorer shall be Virat Kohli, and highest wicket taker shall be Mohammad Shami. And I
Yeah.
think man of the match could be Virat Kohli, according to me.
All right. And Team India winning. Yes. Okay,
Absolutely, no
Rahul.
doubt about it.
Yeah. What about you, Rahul? Like throughout the match, I'm talking the highest run scorer, highest wicket taker, and man of the match. Yeah. In this match.
Okay, so I think the highest run scorer, I'm going to go with the form right now. I think Rohit Sharma has been the best batsman for India if we're looking at form right now. And he also played a very vital role in India taking a 2-1 lead in the series in England last time when they played in 2021. So I
Yes.
think I'm going to go with Rohit Sharma being the highest run scorer. Highest wicket taker with the ball, I have a feeling it's going to be Mohammad Shami. Mohammad Shami has always been very lethal with the new. I know there's Mohammad Siraj as well, but and Mohammad Shami did not do so well in IPL and all that. But Test cricket is a different cup of tea, and Mohammad Shami is very good in Test cricket in taking wickets with the new ball. So I feel he's going to be the highest wicket taker. As far as man of the match is concerned, I'm not very sure about India winning this match per se. So I'm gonna predict that man of the match to be an Australian, which is Steve Smith. I think Steve Smith has been very good in underratedly good in big matches for Australia.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be the man of the match and score some really big runs. He has an excellent record in England as well. I think close to 60, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah. definitely. Zain, what about you? Highest run scorer, highest wicket taker for India, and then probably man of the match, and then the winner of the match as well.
Highest run scorer, obviously the modern day great Steve Smith, or I would say it's gonna be either Kohli or Smith. Maybe Kohli for India and Smith for Australia. I don't know. So
Yeah,
probably I'll go with Steve Smith. And highest wicket taker, I would like to go with obviously Pat Cummins. In England condition is a different beast. So I would like to go with Pat Cummins, and man of the match, obviously either of Smith or Cummins. Like depends on the situation. Like if we are batting, if Australia is batting on fourth innings, and if Smith is able to help them chase the innings, it's going to be Smith. Or
yeah,
else if Cummins gets a 5 for 3 for bowling in the fourth innings, maybe it's Cummins. And winner, obviously, I would go with Australia.
yeah. Jaideep, what about you?
Yeah, just for some humor, Zain, you're wearing Team India's jersey and you're completely in support of Australia.
Yeah.
Only only Virat Kohli can make me wear this jersey. Other than that, I don't wear this jersey at all. It's
Okay,
only about
jokes.
Kohli.
Yeah, okay. Jokes apart, I think it's going to be India's match for sure. We all want that India finally wins an ICC knockout,
Mm,
if not the final knockout.
yeah,
Uh, we all want to win this match, that's for sure. So India definitely for me.
mm,
Highest run scorer is going to be Virat Kohli.
yeah,
If not as a prediction, you can take this as my feeling, or as my prayer as well. I want Virat Kohli to score highest runs in this game. I want Mohammad Shami to take highest wickets in this match so as to allow India to win this game. And
yeah.
man of the match, either of Virat Kohli or Mohammad Shami, no worries. Whomsoever takes the man of the match trophy, it's definitely not going to matter. We just want to, get that trophy.
Will you give India to win the WTC?
Sorry, probability
Probability, yeah,
of India winning the
for
WTC.
India winning the WTC.
I would say 100% because we want that India. We want India to lift the WTC base. So 100% yes.
Wow, great. All right, so I'll also give India and Australia highest run scores. I'll be neutral. So yes, definitely. So for me, highest run scorer for India, I'm also going to go with Virat Kohli. For Australia, I'm going to go with Usman Khawaja with the form that he's in. I think Usman Khawaja will score. Highest wicket taker for both the teams. Australia, I think, is going to be Pat Cummins, and for India, I think it's going to be Mohammad Shami. I'm going to go with Shami. Man of the match, I think I'm gonna go with Khawaja for me with the way that he's forming. I think Khawaja, and probability wise, I think it's gonna be 55-45 Australia, unfortunately. But first match, I think India is definitely gonna give a very very good fight, definitely until day five. I think it's gonna go for day five for sure. I'm 100% sure it's gonna go for day five with how both the teams are performing. It's not gonna end in 3 or 4 days. Definitely, it's a day five. Gonna go all the way to day five. I just think like Australia have this. I don't have Pant, Iyer, and Bumrah. I think those three are just especially that middle order for me is a big concern in my opinion. Especially the number six. That slightly worries me for India. If Pant was there, I would have definitely given India the chance to win this WTC. But just because Pant and Bumrah, Iyer are not there, I just think Australia have a small edge over India. But anyways, I think Rahul, you told your predictions, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I've
Yeah,
told my predictions. Yes.
yeah.
I would like
All
to
right.
add one. If
Yes.
Virat Kohli goes on to score a twin century, then I'm all India. Other than that, I wish Australia wins the match. It's all for Kohli, man. He scores twin centuries. We are with India. Other than that, if he goes twin ducks, I would allow Australia to lift the WTC since it must be Warner's last as well. If India are winning, I would love Kohli to finish it with a boundary or whatever. He has to stay until the end. It's gonna be Kohli or nothing. That's it.
All right. All right. But anyways, thank you so much for all these panelists coming, especially Ankit, Zain, Jaideep. Rahul, even Paji and Richik for joining, guys. So thank you so much. So that ends us our WTC Finals preview. So do check out and I mean we're going to do match preview reviews hopefully for each day and the final as well. Do live watch along. Do check Sports with Bros. Thank you so much for accepting our invite. I think very difficult to get you guys, but it was great having you on the show, and I hope you enjoyed it. But thanks so much for joining.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yes,
I enjoyed
absolutely.
it a lot.
Yes. And thank you so much, Zain, Jaideep, Rahul. Even on short notice, you
No
guys
worries,
joined.
sir.
Thank you so much, all three of you. And let's
No
hope for a
no
cracker of
worries.
a match in India versus Australia. Never know. Let's see. I hope it's a good match and either of the teams win. But let's hope for the best for India versus Australia. India can win ICC trophy after 10 years. Let's hope all the best for India as well. And Australia have a chance to
Yes,
obviously win
yes,
all the
absolutely.
trophies remaining in the cabinet. They already have won the 2020 World Cup, won ODI World Cup 5 times, and now winning a WTC as well will end their, I mean, stay as well as the best nation also, I think, as a cricketing nation in terms of trophies. But anyways, thank you guys. So we'll end it over there. Do subscribe the Sports Breakdown, like, comment, and share. And yeah, let's meet tomorrow or day after tomorrow covering the match. So thank you so much, guys, and see you in the next video.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank you,
yes.
thank you.